Okay, so qualifying just finished up not too long ago, and I got our weekly recap of really the news that went around the week and the upgrades that we've gotten so far in Baku and what they've really done for teams, considering what's happened in qualifying and how we should expect this race weekend to be. Let's get right into the news. So, okay, the first being that Charles Leclerc actually released a song. And no, he is not singing in the song, but it's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful piece. It's a little piano part that he played. I think if you've followed really the personality of Charles Leclerc, you'll know that the guy does play piano and that he's actually very good at it. So it's an enjoying piece. I'll play a little clip here.
First time ever, Charles Leclerc wins a Formula One Grand Prix.
First victory in F1. This one is for F1.
Next interesting piece of news that I have that I actually didn't see up until recently is Hamilton is ready to go to space. Yeah, so he's actually talked to Elon Musk saying that he will drive the spaceship himself. I mean, obviously he's just messing around and stuff, but he is somebody that wants to go to space. That's some ambition of his, and it doesn't shock me being a Formula One driver that he wants to shoot so high to do something so crazy like that. He even talks about getting nervous speaking with Elon Musk about the topic because it's such an extreme topic and something that he's really been wanting to do since he's been in Formula One and something he wants to do outside of it. Next thing in the news, and I think most people know about this, and I'll cover it shortly, it's Lauren Marquez actually going to AlphaTauri, and the team principal Francois over there actually pretty much leaving the team, like a retirement really, in 2023, and he has done it. I mean, this guy has made so many legends, from Sebastian Vettel to Max Verstappen to Carlos Sainz even was in that team. I mean, like, numerous drivers have driven for Toro Rosso and are now some of the most accomplished drivers really in the sport. Daniel Ricciardo even being one of them. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy what this AlphaTauri team / Toro Rosso team has really brought to the sport, but what also Francois has done for AlphaTauri / Toro Rosso. And then we have the format, which I mean, I think everybody knows it by now, but I'll go over it very briefly. Friday, practice qualifying. Saturday, sprint qualifying, sprint race. Sunday, the main race. That's really the gist of the format. And last part, before we get into the upgrades, is that Kevin Magnussen for Haas has actually been put on a 5-race notice on whether they're going to sign him for 2024. Gunther back at it again. No, I mean, I think this is justifiable. Hulk came into the seat and it seems like he's practically dominating Kevin, I would say right now. Kevin is a more than capable driver. I believe that. I think he overdrives sometimes. That's what causes those little incidents and gives out those meatball flags. But all in all, he's a great driver. I hope he retains his seat. It's not something that I would love to happen. I like Kevin. I think he's fantastic. He's had a very interesting career and been in multiple different teams, but he's been in that Haas team for over 8 years practically. So he's like cemented within the Haas history. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're probably looking for replacements depending on who will become available. Maybe they're looking into Daniel Ricciardo. I don't want to say anything for certain, but we already know that Daniel Ricciardo isn't very comfortable wanting to join this. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Haas decides to do with Kevin Magnussen. Okay, now the part that I think most of you are interested in. I'm going to go over every upgrade we have in Baku and really what I think of them. So first thing I got up on the screen is 4 different rear wings from Albert Fabrega, who always brings the rear wings and has that rear wing, is it Thursday? So McLaren, they're going for like a medium downforce setup. I don't know. I saw some. We'll go more into the McLaren upgrades. I don't know. I thought it was going to be a lot more, but it's not. Alfa Romeo brings another different looking wing, something that looks to be an improvement on their straight line speed. Now, Aston Martin, you can't really see it in here. I'll show different pictures of it. It's a completely different rear wing. It's not like a spec of the last one. It's a completely different one with everything else revised on it. It's something that could very much help them going into this race. Then we have AlphaTauri's wing, which is another medium to low downforce setup. So most teams are going for medium to low downforce with the exception of McLaren in this picture. Next picture I got up on the screen is Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, and BWT, which is Alpine. So for these 4 teams, Red Bull has the biggest wing. Man, we know they're gonna smoke everybody just by like the wing that they're putting on. They're gonna be stupid fast, but yeah, Red Bull's wing is the biggest. Ferrari going for another low downforce. They went for the 2 little clasp things again on the rear wing. Mercedes went for a deeper wing as well, so that's probably to help with that rear. And Alpine went for a super small wing. But last year they did the same, and Alpine's got a couple of pretty big upgrades going into this actually real race. Next thing is, here are some of the upgrades onto the McLaren car. So they talked about the floor geometry and really how that has played a part into them. So it's changing. They're changing it up. Like, it looks like they're taking a little bit of inspiration from Aston Martin and Red Bull, because they have that little divot in the beginning of their floor. And it looks almost identical, I would say, to what looks like here. Okay, and now this is a Mercedes upgrade, which, I mean, I don't know how Albert Fabrega caught it, but he did. So this is actually, I'll show another picture of a different angle for this, and I'll pop it up on screen right now. It's the back part of the car. It's near where the rear suspension is, and it's dependent on how the rear brake, really, the flow goes. So it's what I talked about, it's cooling. So it does help with that. It does help with aerodynamics in general, but also the way that the car is cooled and how the rear is going to really pick up that DRS effectiveness. And I think this is a part into their new concept coming that is going to play really, not really a tool, but something to actually help them out throughout Baku and Miami going into Imola for that new upgrade package coming. Here is now the rear wing spec that I was talking about. Now, I mean, look at the difference between Jeddah and Baku. I think it's huge. It looks like a big improvement. It looks like what they're going for here is a bigger DRS effectiveness, because it looks like just the way that the lower plate and the upper plate work together here is way more effective looking than in Jeddah. I mean, this Baku wing that they have could have effectively been used in Jeddah if they had a car with strong enough downforce, but it looks like they're optimizing their setup, so now they're able to actually bring a better wing, which is the Baku wing. It seems like it's bigger from its angle, but from an actual side view, inside perspective, which next picture I'll pop up, from a side perspective, it's closer in. It's a smaller wing in general, and it follows more of that Red Bull setup. It's not as, I would say, Mercedes-like the last wing was. It's more Red Bull-like with a different type of flow going through it. I think this is going to be a big upgrade and something they needed to bring. Now, how much will it genuinely bring to the car? That we'll find out. I mean, qualifying showed that it was good, but will it actually be able to like prove on race day? Because I think that's where it's most important. In qualifying, they're great, but in race day, that's where we'll see the importance of it. Now, just a picture showing what the Red Bull wing looks like and what this Haas wing looks like. I mean, they chopped this wing, but I expect Haas to be really quick on race day as well. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, here is an Alpine upgrade on its rear wing. Really just talking about the actual part where the rear wing gets first hit. It's now skinnier in certain parts. It's not a huge upgrade. The real big upgrade for Alpine is, the real big talking point for Alpine is actually its like front wing and that big chop that they put in between it. Looks like somebody took a bite out of it, but yeah, I mean, Alpine is claiming this to be 3 to 4 tenths of an upgrade. So let's see on race pace, because in qualifying, they tend to do good sometimes, they tend to do bad sometimes. So in race day is what I'm more looking forward to with these upgrades and what they're actually going to be able to achieve. And last thing I got up, because we know that Red Bull actually brought an upgrade for this week, and man, look at the like, it's just like beautiful to look at, like the side pod geometry of really this Red Bull. It just looks like insane, and I don't know, like I don't know what to expect and how great they're really going to be into this race. Not just talking about qualifying, I'm talking about like in the race. Now, unless reliability hits, these guys are about to fly out of the park. So let's see. Let's see. DRS still will play a part, but it is less now in the race. So it'll be interesting to see what this brings. So that's all the upgrades and all the news for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, please leave a comment and subscribe. It would really mean the world, and peace.